Previously on Wolfout Tonight.
I have spent 15 years.
Whoa. Not yet, pal. We'll get to your pitch a little later, but you know how I'm really, like, super creepily into my cats, right? Despite their similar appearances, one is a serious journalist, and the other is a Muppet.
I'll let my resume speak for itself.
The 69 visual gags DVD, and the 3 CD set. Hat face, fat face, forced perspective, horse perspective.
Broadcasting live from Wolfout Studios in the police state of Madison, Wisconsin, it's a very special episode of Wolfout Tonight with Nate Chappell. This week, Nate and Johnny have a tale to tell about a 5-0 uh-oh. But now, the man who believes the second gunman was the grassy knoll, Nate Chappell.
Johnny. Yes. Good evening, suspects and perps. Turn left, face forward, and walk backwards towards my voice. We've got a very special episode for you guys tonight, but first, it's just about to get serious, so I'm going to read you your Miranda rights, okay? Let's see. You have the right to be with Steve. You have the right to be an independent woman. Wait, these are the Sex and the City Miranda rights. I need the comedy Miranda rights. Right here. You have the right to remain silent. Anything I say could be used to make you laugh. You have a right to be outraged. If you're not appropriately outraged, Vivian has enough outrage for you. Seriously, guys, she is so pissed. That's why she's not here, actually, off seething somewhere. So on to the action. Johnny and Viv and I did the 30-second film festival over the weekend. Johnny and I were on our way to meet Viv at the Mason Lounge to pick up our assignment. And as the most efficient man in show business, I decided that we should shoot a behind-the-scenes sort of piece on our 30-second project for tonight's show, with Johnny as the shooter while I drove. Well, within minutes, we were swarmed by 6 squad cars at a busy intersection. An officer ordered me to get out of the vehicle, face forward, and walk backwards. Now, I don't know if you've ever tried to walk backwards while you're shitting your pants. I'm kidding, of course. No, I was pursed so tightly that nothing would have escaped. But walking backwards without looking is hard enough. You know, I'm not that trusting. You know that trick where somebody gets on their hands and knees behind you and then somebody else pushes you over? Remember that? Yeah, well, I'm not going to fall for that again, okay? Like, walk backwards towards my voice. We got him. Pow, pow. I know, they're probably not going to do that, but I couldn't stop turning my head, it just kept creeping to the side. But there were at least 3 guns on me, and I'm one of my favorite people, so I take this very personally. So they put me in cuffs, searched me for weapons, and shoved me into the squad car. The back part. Meanwhile, they ordered Johnny out of the car and yelled, "Turn left and face forward!" He was already facing forward, so he turned left towards the cops and the guns. They yelled, "Forward, forward, forward, forward!" So he just kept spinning left until he was facing forward again. Once the applause died down for his awesome dance moves, they checked Johnny for weapons. He had 2 knives, of course. And he got shoved into another squad car. Based on the line of questioning, I figured out that somebody with apparently the eyesight of a mole called 911 saying that Johnny had flashed a gun at her. But turns out it wasn't a gun, it was a camera. Oops! Like I said, Johnny was the shooter. It's crazy, they totally let him out of the cuffs way earlier than me. Thought maybe he'd flipped on me. But he hadn't. My cop, who I've nicknamed Sam because I don't remember his name, well, turns out Sam was just a dipshit. I asked to be uncuffed once it was all cleared up, and he said he'd prefer not to protect my reputation, particularly since he knew I didn't do anything. Sorry, what's that? Because, sitting in cuffs is good for my reputation. Maybe he was looking out for me, trying to give me a more badass reputation, more hardcore rep, I'm kind of warming up to this dipshit. On our way out, the sergeant smiled and said, "You guys are going to have one hell of a story to tell." To which I replied, "Oh, great. Hey, you guys ever read The Hobbit? Great story. That guy just made it all up. I think I'd rather go that route." And then the next day, I got stung in the face by a bee. It's always something, isn't it? Well, that's most of the story, guys. Go subscribe to the Natecast right now on iTunes, or your podcast app of choice to get the full story on Friday's very special episode. Up next, all the news you can't use. It's my week in review. Welcome to my Week in Review. I'm Nate Chappell, and this is my week. On Friday, an uncomfortable wave of relief washed over me as all of my anxieties about the police, our culture of fear and violence, my own mortality, and the possibility of being accused of a crime I didn't commit became a tangible reality, as I was no longer worrying about unlikely hypothetical situations, but a real, actual situation. When asked for comment, my anxiety said, "Told you so," then made my eye twitch for a few days. Also on Friday, the words Nissan Versa and gun were used in the same sentence for the first time ever, like ever. During the bullshit police heavily weaponed overreaction to a shithead complaint, we were recording an intro for the Natecast. We left it rolling in the car and captured a really cute moment between Officer Sam and Sergeant Story as they were searching my car. Sam was sheepishly apologizing for ordering his superior to get the cuffs. She responded that she, quote, kind of actually likes it, saying, quote, "You need me to do something, you tell me," and, quote, "You can tell me what to do." This vulnerable moment speaks to both a confusing hierarchy and the beginning to a beautiful love story. Or the middle. Ooh la la. That's my Week in Review, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Nate Chappell saying my week was better than your week.
Wolfout Television presents Eddie, the world's first ever live claymation television show. Watch the magic as it happens, live. Eddie's one cool cat. I've heard he can be a bit catty, but Eddie says he's just misunderstood. One thing's for sure, this kitten likes to scratch. Eddie. Series premiere Saturday, July 19th, 8 p.m. to Tuesday, July 22nd, 4 p.m. Only on Wolfout Television.
In the game of poker, a tell is a behavior that telegraphs information about a player's hand. Some examples include playing with chips, shifty eyes, touching face, smiling, excessive blinking, excessive winking, hiding, nervously applying makeup, standing, playing with your wig, playing with someone else's wig, hat, profuse sweating, whistling, thumb wrestling, wildlife advisors, laughing maniacally, and literally telling.
4 kings. What's our worst game?
Whatever you want it to be. You writing yourself?
Yeah, that's
kidding.
it.
Alright, everybody settle, okay? First of all, I want to tell you guys that due to image concerns, we're not going to have the donuts every morning anymore. It's just a little too easy to make fun of. So instead, I brought in some bacon. It's just better optics. Okay, so we got a call from the driver of a Honda Civic, Mrs. Magoo, it looks like. Seems like we got a shooting on the east side. A video shooting, that's right. We're talking HD here, people. High definition, got it? This perp's got a Sony HXR NXU30 shooting minimum 720p here, okay? Maybe 1080i. And if it's 4K, God help us all, that's a hell of a lot of pixels, people. 26.3mm lens, ultra wide here, optical stabilization, extra battery, and not that I have to tell you guys this, but a shotgun mic. Short for microphone, got it? Alright, makes sense? Okay. So, our film assassins are driving a black Nissan Versa license plate, upside down hook, ear, right side up hook, cross, zigzag, zigzag. Looks like these punks have a gun, but of course they don't. It's a video camera and Mrs. Magoo can't see shit. But we have to react like the trunk is packed full of C4, okay? It might be for all we know. And our drivers might be vampires, or horses. There could be thousands of starving and yelling kittens, or a giant box of ghosts in that trunk. Whoa, hang on. It's a hatchback, people. So we're at threat level midnight here, okay? And it's a 4-door, oh no. Okay, so you figure 2 officers on each door. That's like 10 or 12 of us, right? We've already got Officer Sam, and he's on, and the sergeant is on her way, but I think those two have kind of a weird thing going on. So I'd like to get some other people around there, you know? Kind of ease the tension, okay? Make sense? Yeah, you know. Settle down, everybody. Okay, we've got to get going if we're going to really blow this out of proportion, okay? It's called a high-risk stop. Let's make it high risk, okay? I want guns out, sirens blaring, instructions confusing. Got it? I'm looking for somebody to shit their pants today, people. I want somebody to shit their pants. Make sure it's not you, okay? Sure as hell isn't going to be me. All right, everybody. Grab a friend or whoever you can grab. Get them all gunned up and rush in with little regard for actual public safety, okay? Grab a Jolt Cola and a slice of bacon on your way out. Hey, I've heard these little pukes are making a doc, but they're gonna need a doctor when we're done with them. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Alright, so I've sliced up my mushrooms. Now I'm gonna throw the garlic into the pan. Oh god! This is a moment where I need to actually do something. It's like...
He hits from both sides of the plate. He's amphibious.
I usually take a 2-hour nap from 1 to 4.
It's like deja vu all over again.
When you come to a fork in the road, take it.
It's like deja vu all over again.
We have deep depth.
Hey boo boo, let's go get us a picnic basket. It ain't over till it's over.
Are you tired of looking at video of Nate Chappell, but you like hearing Nate Chappell's voice, and you just don't know what to do? We can help. Wolfout Radio proudly presents The Natecast, a brand new podcast starring the host of Wolfout Tonight, Nate Chappell. That's right, all the rich sounds and words you've grown to love, without the haunting asymmetry of Nate Chappell's horrible face. No more smug mugs at camera, no more trying to figure out how tall he is, no more painfully adorable kittens. Just beautiful noises falling out of Nate Chappell's mouth. It's the Natecast. Subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's time for the guest talk, and I feel I've been talking this whole time, so I kind of wanted to get Johnny's perspective on things. So we're going to have Johnny on as a guest. Come on, Johnny. Hey Johnny, welcome.
Thank you.
You've been doing a great job so far. I've been watching really closely, creepily closely. So I've been talking a lot about it, but I kind of wanted to get your impression of you. Why don't you tell me, from your perspective, the events on Friday?
Friday. Let's see. Friday. Oh yeah. Okay. I had Friday off. It was a pretty good day. I remember that. Had a really good breakfast. I had some breakfast burritos. I made up some potatoes in there and bacon. And what was that, Thursday? It might have been Thursday. Oh yeah, that was Thursday. I had oatmeal on Friday. That's right.
Okay. Moving forward a little bit, let's skip ahead in the day a little bit. What else? What did you do after that?
Well, me and you hang out for a little bit.
Yeah.
I hung out and and then I went home and I stared at the wall. I remember.
Actually, Johnny, no, we actually shot a 30-second film, and I actually shot a 30-second documentary. If you want to see it, maybe it'll refresh your memory. It's a documentary. It's in honor of the 30-second film festival. This is also 30 seconds, so this is like a documentary behind the scenes. So let's take a look at that, Johnny.
While driving to the Mason to meet Viv to pick up their assignment for the 32nd Film Festival, Johnny and Nate were swarmed by police and detained at gunpoint because some dipwad thought the camera taking this shot was a gun. It wasn't. Johnny and Nate were only 15 minutes late. They told Steve all about it. They drew the assignment, make a spot for a weed fest, basically. So they wrote it. Viv shot it. They talked more about that crazy cop thing. Nate recorded the VO. Finn made the music, and Nate cut it. It was a wild 24 hours, and it was done.
That refresh your memory at all, Johnny?
No, sir.
Okay, well, I guess maybe this might jog your brain a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to present to you the product of that documentary, Wolfout TV's entry to the 2016 30-second 24-hour film festival. Now remember, we had to make a 30-second network-style commercial for the Midwest Marijuana Harvest Fest in just 24 hours. Enjoy.
Autumn. The time we celebrate the harvest. It's when the year's hard work finally pays off. When we revel in the changing season. And so, we delight in everything the land provides. The Great Midwest Harvest Festival.
Nothing, Johnny? Well, if you've ever made an error while being recorded, then you'll directly relate to this. This is a Werner Herzogian story of man versus nature. It's a bloop.
I don't know. Not sure, don't care. Coming?
No.
You scared me.
Well, he was running at
Oh
us.
shit. Sorry, doggies. Thanks for not killing us.
Good job, guys. The last one was more like dog versus woman versus dog, all versus nature. Hey, speaking of Nate, you're gonna love this audition tape from Nathaniel the Nate Man Hawthorne, who has asked to be remain anonymous. A request we ignored despite the fact that he signed his release form with a question mark. Here, we blurred his face.
Hi, this is Nathaniel the Nate Man Hawthorne trying out for the narrator role in the the weed spot. All right. Autumn. This is the Nate Man coming at you. I'm sorry, can we start from the top? Autumn. The time we celebrate the harvest. It's when the year's hard work finally pays off. And so, we delight in everything the land provides. All right. This is the Nate Man coming at you live from sunny Madison, Wisconsin, and you're listening to the sound of my voice.
He did not get the job. Hey, Johnny, any luck remembering that encounter with the cops?
Nope.
So have you tried hypnosis at all?
Yeah, I've been hypnotized since I was 11 years old, actually. I went to one of those stage hypnosis shows, and the guy dropped dead. I haven't clucked like a chicken since.
Okay, well, this is our last shot. It's a dramatic reenactment that Johnny put together this afternoon. It's funny that he doesn't remember this, but with the actual audio from the scene. Now, this might be hard to watch. The guy that I had play Johnny, well, it's uncanny, the resemblance. Just chilling.
You want us to roll down our window? Oh, shit.
What the fuck is going on?
I have no idea.
Face away from me. Face away, hands up. Walk back towards the sound of my voice. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep the hands up. Okay, keep walking slowly. Stop right there.
Anything? Okay, well, I guess I'll have to take that one step at a time, right, guys? And I'll take one step at a time backwards, towards your voices, ladies and gentlemen, because that's been a very special episode. Now, look, we've had a lot of laughs here tonight, haven't we? At least 7 or 8. But what's happened to Johnny and I was total bullshit. We assumed a bunch of risks so that the cops didn't have to, which they didn't have to anyway, as there was no risk unless cameras really do steal your soul. They overreacted to some report of a tiny fear-flake suspicion that everything's a gun, and they overreacted in a way that stripped us of our safety and created a high-risk situation where there wasn't one before. And what's worse for them is that they pissed off the wrong guy's wife and shit the wrong guy's pants. We've got big mouths and unrealistic expectations and won't rest until everything's fixed. Alright, Pack. Go subscribe to the Natecast to get it right on your phone on Friday there. I want to thank Officer Sam Dipshit and Sergeant Sam, those crazy kids. We wish the best for them. And my partner in innocence, Johnny, for not getting killed. Thanks for the Viv, for being the best around. Finn Hammond and Tyler Ensign made the music for the show. Check Tyler out on SoundCloud. Check Finn out at the library. He's a piratical. He's 1 week at a time, okay? Coming up next, we have a 4.8-minute documentary. You'll see all about it with Johnny and Rick Kestnick. They're a proud production of Wolfout TV. Go to wolfout.tv to check out more media from me. And look for Wolfout TV in your grocer's freezer or wherever social media is sold. All right, Pack. As Christian Slater, star of the wonderful action comedy Kuffs, said, "Hey, I'm gleaming the cube." And as always, be excellent to each other. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Our guest, who we'll be hearing from later, he's actually going to be telling you a true story. He is the associate producer for the Madison 48-hour film project. So what that is this film project that happens. It's 48 hours. That's why it's called that. You have to shoot a film in 48 hours, okay? And you get these required elements, like a name and an object and a line of dialogue they have to use. So, to give you a little sample, we don't have 48 hours. Do you guys have 48 hours in today's workaday world?
Well,
No. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to have a 4.8-minute film festival, okay? And so we're going to also use parameters that will be decided by you on Periscope.
Okay, we got it. We got it, guys.
all right.
So I'm going to show to the audience now what we're doing.
Yes, that's right.
All right, guys.
Dramatically tear it off. Fold it once. Now hand it to me. You can take that handheld. Alright. So the way this is going to work, it's 4 minutes, 48 seconds. That's what 4.8 minutes is, in case you didn't know. As soon as I look at this, the time will start. Johnny's ready with the timer. And and here's the camera. I know Rick's usually the director, but do you mind if I go ahead and take this one?
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead?
All right.
Yeah.
Could you say action and then I'll open this?
Ready? And action.
Okay. You know where the stapler is? All right. I'm gonna grab the stapler. You guys
I have a stapler in my car.
Switch your faces. Okay. Got a stapler. Rick, get in here. Get in your spot. Well, bring that up to your face and say, "These aren't snails." So keep it down and then bring it up. And action. Oh. And action.
These aren't snails.
Perfect. Now say, I'll never be happy.
I'll never be happy.
Okay, and what's the genre? Okay. Johnny, you're in. Rick, you're out.
Johnny, need the stapler?
No.
Okay.
Move forward a little, Johnny. And say, well, the apocalypse just happened.
Well, the apocalypse just happened.
Now say it in an old man voice.
Well, the apocalypse just happened.
Well, that's good.
That's beautiful. And cut. That's a wrap on shooting, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey. I am a freelance director, writer, and producer.
Time.
Okay, that's a time for the 4.8.
Okay, guys, that was time for the 4.8. I just want to know, pencils down. I'm all done. You guys ready? Do you want to gather around here?
Yeah. What's it called?
It's called Johnny Brain's Post-Apocalyptic Nightmare.
Okay. These aren't snails.
Well, the apocalypse just happened.
I'll never be happy. Woo! That's awesome. I like that movie.
4.8 minute film festival, okay?
Hey guys, what we did was called acting. But in real life, make sure that if you're gonna shoot anybody, you do it with a camera. Isn't that right, Johnny? Yes. Well, guys, stay in school. And good night. And good nachos.